Welcome to the deep dive. Ready to dive deep into human history today?
Always ready.
Awesome. So we're going to, kind of like take a whirlwind tour through the whole of human history
Okay.
and hit all those like big turning points, those revolutions that totally reshaped how humans live and think and everything.
Just ambitious.
It is. But hey, that's what we do here, right?
I got it.
So get this. We're talking about like going from those early humans, the ones hanging out in caves, all the way to like launching rockets into space, all in like 15 minutes.
All right, buckle up, everyone.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool? We're going to uncover some pretty surprising stuff along the way.
Oh, I bet.
Like, did you know that there used to be like multiple human species walking around at the same time?
Right. It's something that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah. It's kind of mind-blowing, right?
Totally.
So that's where we're going to start. We're going way, way, way back.
Back to the beginning.
To the beginning. Before, pyramids and wheels and all that jazz. Back when, like, Homo sapiens weren't the only humans on the scene.
It was a much more crowded, much more diverse human landscape back then.
Exactly. We're talking about, Neanderthals, Denisovans.
Homo erectus, Homo habilis.
It's wild. These weren't just, like, our ancient relatives. They were, like, real-deal humans coexisting with our own ancestors.
Sharing the planet.
Sharing the planet. Imagine that, right?
It's hard to wrap your head around, right?
It's like you walk out of your cave and bump into a Neanderthal getting their morning coffee.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe they did have coffee back then.
Right. Okay, maybe not coffee, but still. The point is, there was this incredible diversity of human life back then.
And it really makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what happened?
Right. Like, why are we the only ones left? What happened to all those other humans?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And it's one that scientists are still trying to figure out. There are all sorts of theories, of course. Climate change, disease, maybe competition for resources. Who knows? But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
Homo sapiens, us. We had something special going on, something that allowed us to, not just survive.
But to thrive.
Exactly. Thrive and become the dominant species on Earth.
So what was that? Something special. What gave us the edge?
Well, it all started with a revolution. Not a political revolution or anything like that.
Okay.
But a revolution in the way our brains worked. The cognitive revolution.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. The cognitive revolution.
It wasn't about having, like, bigger brains or anything. It was more like a rewiring, a software upgrade.
A software upgrade for the human brain, like that.
Yeah. And this upgrade gave Homo sapiens a major advantage. It allowed us to think in ways that no other human species could.
Like how? What kind of thinking are we talking about?
We're talking about abstract thought, the ability to imagine things that don't physically exist,
Right.
to come up with ideas and concepts. And
Whoa, hold on. That's huge.
It is.
Because if you can think about things that aren't right there in front of you,
Right.
then you can start planning for the future.
Exactly. You can strategize. You can invent.
You can basically outsmart everyone else.
And you know what else came with this upgrade?
Tell me.
Language. The ability to communicate these complex ideas to each other.
Oh, that's the game changer.
It is.
Yeah.
Language allowed us to cooperate on a much larger scale, to share knowledge, to build complex societies.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
And like suddenly, humans were able to tap into this whole new level of potential.
Yeah. And all thanks to this cognitive revolution.
That's right.
It's amazing how, like, this one shift in our brains set the stage for everything that came after.
Absolutely. From language to culture to technology to the world we live in today, it all traces back to this incredible leap forward in human cognition.
Okay, so we've got these super smart, communicative Homo sapiens ready to take on the world. What happens next in this evolutionary adventure? Stay tuned, because we're about to dig into the next big turning point, the agricultural revolution. So we've got these super smart, communicative Homo sapiens ready to take on the world. What happens next in this evolutionary adventure?
Well, for a really long time, tens of thousands of years actually, humans lived as, hunter-gatherers,
Yeah.
following the herds, foraging for plants, their lives were like totally in sync with nature.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then around 10,000 years ago, something huge happened.
Okay, what happened?
It completely changed the course of human history, the agricultural revolution.
Right. This is where we ditch the whole, like, nomadic lifestyle and
Right.
settle down, right?
Right.
Start farming and stuff.
Exactly.
I gotta admit, the idea of, like, swapping a spear for a plow doesn't sound super exciting to me. you know?
Yeah, maybe not at first glance, but trust me, the shift to agriculture was a radical experiment. A total gamble. It paid off in some ways, for sure,
Yeah.
but it also came with some serious consequences.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. So, like, what were the biggest impacts of this whole agricultural revolution thing?
Well, first of all, agriculture meant that for the first time, humans could produce a surplus of food,
Uh-huh.
which meant they could support way larger populations
Makes sense.
and they could, settle in one place.
Villages and stuff.
Exactly. Villages grew into towns, towns into cities, and
Okay, so we're starting to see the roots of civilization here.
yeah, you could say that. And with larger settlements and more people
Mm.
came the development of, specialized labor.
Oh, right, right. Not everyone has to be a farmer anymore.
That's it. Some people could, focus on other things,
Like what?
like becoming artisans or priests or rulers.
So this is where we start seeing like social hierarchies emerging.
Exactly. So yeah, you could definitely say that agriculture was kind of like the foundation for civilization as we know it.
Not bad for a bunch of farmers, huh?
Haha, right. But remember, every revolution has its downsides.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. There's always a trade-off.
Exactly. So, with settled life, with agriculture, came new challenges. Like, for example, humans became way more vulnerable to famine.
Oh yeah, if your crops fail, you're in trouble.
Big trouble. And diseases spread more easily in these, densely populated areas.
Right, right.
And then there's the whole issue of, land and resources.
People start fighting over stuff.
Exactly, which led to, increased conflict and even stronger social hierarchies.
It's kind of like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
It is. You get stability and progress,
Yeah.
but you lose some of that freedom and equality that, characterized hunter-gatherer life.
That's a really interesting point. So the agricultural revolution wasn't just like a straight-up good thing.
Yeah.
It was this complex turning point with both pros and cons.
Absolutely. And it really shaped human societies in profound ways, both good and bad.
And it set the stage for like whole bunch of other revolutions that were just waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah, and those revolutions came faster and faster as human societies became more complex and interconnected.
Right, we're talking about like the rise and fall of empires, the development of writing,
Yeah.
technology exploding. It's a lot to take in.
It is. The pace of change just kept accelerating. Like, think about it.
Okay.
The agricultural revolution, that was like a process that spanned thousands of years.
Right.
But the revolutions that came after, like the scientific revolution, the industrial revolution, the digital age, those happened way faster, each one building on the innovations and ideas of the one before it.
So like what were some of the biggest game changers in this rapid evolution of human history?
We could spend hours talking about all of them, but let's hit some of those biggies, like the invention of writing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was like monumental, huge. It allowed us to, finally record our history, share knowledge across like huge distances,
Right.
and build on the ideas of, those who came before us.
It's like hitting save on human progress. Man.
Exactly. No more relying on like memory and oral traditions. Suddenly, bam, we have libraries, archives.
And knowledge can spread like wildfire.
Exactly. And with all that knowledge spreading around came new innovations, new technologies, new ways of understanding the world.
It's like a snowball effect, right? One thing leads to another.
Yeah, and then of course you've got the printing press in the 15th century. That was another big one.
Oh, yeah, the printing press. That changed everything.
It really did. It made information accessible to like way more people.
Democratized knowledge, right?
Exactly. And that helped fuel, the scientific revolution.
Ah, yes. The time of Copernicus, Galileo, Newton, when, like, our whole understanding of the universe got flipped on its head.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
And all those scientific breakthroughs, they lay the groundwork for, well, everything that came after.
Right, like the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. Mechanization, mass production.
Yeah.
Talk about a game changer.
It was a whole new world. Suddenly you have factories churning out products.
Yeah. And steam engines and cars.
The pace of change was just incredible.
It's almost impossible to, like, wrap your head around how much things changed in such a short amount of time.
And then, boom, here we are today in the digital age.
The age of computers, the internet, everything connected.
It's like the cognitive revolution all over again.
But on a global scale, right?
Exactly. Constantly connected, sharing information at lightning speed. It's
A lot.
It is exciting, overwhelming, and maybe a little bit terrifying all at the same time.
Totally agree. So as we like step back and look at this whole crazy journey from those first Homo sapiens to now,
Yeah.
what does it all mean? What can we learn from all these revolutions?
I think the biggest takeaway is that, well, change is the only constant.
Yeah.
But it's true. Humans were incredibly adaptable, innovative.
Right.
We've faced so many challenges throughout history, and we've always, always found a way to overcome them.
That's actually a really hopeful thought,
It is.
It means that we have the power to shape the future, to use our creativity and smarts to solve problems.
Absolutely. The future's wide open. Who knows what revolutions we'll see in our lifetimes, what new ideas will pop up, what amazing technologies will be invented.
It's kind of exciting, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, that was quite the journey. From hunter-gatherers to the digital age, a whirlwind tour through human history. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little smarter now.
Me too.
But more than that, I'm really in awe of how resilient and adaptable humans are.
We're a pretty amazing species when you think about it.
We are. And remember, folks, the story of humanity, it's not over yet.
It's still being written.
And you're part of it. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.